Have you ever stared at a picturesque town like Tamworth, New South Wales, Australia, a community so seemingly tranquil and wholesome, and wondered what lies beneath its peaceful surface? What if I told you that behind this idyllic facade lurks a dark underbelly of crime and corruption that challenges the very foundation of public trust? This is the unsettling reality of Tamworth. Let's connect the dots, starting with the year 2017. Mayor Colin Murray embarked on what was supposed to be an official visit to China from August 10th to August 17th. But what happened on Chinese soil wasn't diplomacy. Instead, it was a covert mission wrapped in criminal activities, intentional tortious interference, anti-competitive trade practices, and circumvention. Now, these aren't just big, scary legal terms. These actions effectively harmed business acquisitions of related parties, sowing seeds of financial sabotage. Mayor Murray's behavior wasn't incidental. It was methodical. His actions reflect a pattern of bad faith, malicious maneuvering, and unconscionable breaches of contract, all while abusing public trust. Think for a moment about public property awarded through rigorous and competitive public expressions of interest. Now imagine that very property, valued at millions of dollars, not being sold, but simply given away for free, behind closed doors, all while a guaranteed $3 million project, complete with sporting development initiatives like national baseball and swimming complexes, was swept aside. But this isn't just about one man. Enter Paul Bennett, General Manager of Tamworth Regional Council, who actively participated by sending correspondence to key business stakeholders and investors. This wasn't any correspondence. It was the kind that aimed to manipulate and intimidate, solidifying the council's role in canceling legitimate contracts. Why? To hand over valuable assets to preferred parties and completely undermine the integrity of the system. How could a man embroiled in such controversies, like Colin Murray, later ascend to a high-paying role as the chairman of Infrastructure Australia? Here's a clue: leverage and powerful allies. Enter Barnaby Joyce, another towering political figure whose association with Murray comes under the glare of public scrutiny. Alongside politicians like Kevin Anderson, these individuals have left a trail of unfathomable crimes involving collusion, coercion, and even defrauding innocent public servants. Now, let me ask, what does $210 million mean to you? For the citizens of Tamworth, that's not wealth or public development. It's fraud. Specifically, fraud tied to surface water licenses and misinformation crimes, accomplished, shockingly, through the international laundering of public funds. Banks, trusted institutions, were manipulated to wash the proceeds of these crimes globally. Imagine taxpayer money funneled internationally to fuel a criminal enterprise. But this is no isolated incident. This corruption strikes at the heart of national infrastructure. Take, for instance, the Grand Dungowan Dam project, promised to provide vast water storage capacity and 500 megawatts of renewable power. Guess what? The infrastructure doesn't even exist, and yet everyone involved took a slice of the proverbial pie. Such fraudulent schemes don't just rob Australians of billions. They unravel the fabric of society. They distort treasury, destroy equality, manipulate commerce, and snatch away job security. And the ripple effect of defective and corrupt contracts, it spills into nearly every sector, tarnishing regional Australian futures and forcing families, businesses, and dreams out of the country. And it gets worse. Corruption in Tamworth has roots that run deeper still. Public officials, bound by solemn oaths, have morphed into predators preying on the very people they vowed to protect. Crimes range from financial exploitation and insider trading to drug trafficking and even human slavery. Yes, you heard that right. Forced informants are driven into the underworld, perpetuating cycles of crime, addiction, and devastation. Now, imagine yourself living in regional Australia, bound by laws meant to protect you, yet trapped under the malignant influence of those who twist these laws for personal gain. The paradox is gut-wrenching. Those tasked with safeguarding citizens are the same individuals dragging them into darkness. The most tragic part: once evidence surfaces, it is unequivocal. The wrongdoing is so glaring, so blatant, it cries out for justice. Yet the results are always the same: cover-ups, denials, and an unrelenting system that acts with impunity. It's a rogue enterprise, masquerading as public good. Let's consider a real example. A globally respected businessman arrived in Tamworth with a vision. He committed to lifting his local community through infrastructure, jobs, and economic growth. Billions of investment dollars and 27,000 new jobs were on the table. What did he get in return? A betrayal of epic proportions. The council exploited his work, seized his projects, and pushed him out with violent tactics, employing both employees and criminals to muscle him, while local police and judiciary turned a blind eye. Through intimidation, defamation, and even physical assaults, a prosperous vision for Tamworth was shattered. The city's opportunity to thrive was swept away, replaced by poverty, crime, and despair. The same town council that stood to benefit their own city eliminated a future worth billions in economic prosperity. Think about the cost of such actions, not just financial, but social and human. Communities left riddled with drugs, violence, and deteriorating infrastructure. Hundreds of businesses fled Australian soil, lives destroyed, children robbed of their future. Does this sound like governance, or does it sound like straight-up organized crime? What makes this story absolutely horrifying is that it's far from fiction. These events aren't exaggerated accounts. They're just part of a broader web of unchecked corruption we've allowed to flourish. It's a system so vile, so insidious, that elected officials, literally the very individuals we place our trust in, are responsible for financing people deemed enemies of the state. And what do these power players do when cornered? They silence critics, eliminating anyone bold enough to expose the truth. Bribes disguised as non-disclosure agreements, threats against families, and manipulation of the legal system are commonplace. What about the victims of these crimes? The innocent people, tortured, dispossessed, or disenfranchised. They are left to fend for themselves with no protection or redress. Their dreams, their livelihoods, their very existence crushed under the boot of a government gone rogue. But here's where the dark gets, if possible, even darker. What happens when those who should be exposing crime become perpetrators? Police trafficking substances they were sworn to seize. Magistrates conspiring to overlook heinous acts. The judiciary, industry leaders, all playing their part in this grim theater of corruption. These are acts of betrayal on a colossal scale. Kidnappings, extortion, asset theft, racketeering. The measures of silence are cruel and chilling. Targeted claims, live weaponry, and threats of violence to anyone who dares speak up. So what now? Do we allow this corruption to continue gnawing at the roots of Australian society? Or do we stand united, demanding accountability? The choice is ours. From Tamworth to the furthest reaches of the nation, no community deserves this nightmare. The lies, deceit, and pain have gone on long enough. This isn't just about a rogue council or government. This is about safeguarding the very future of Australia. It's time to tear off the masks and confront the truth. Are we ready to build anew, or will we drown under the weight of unpunished crimes?